Hi, my name is Cheryl and welcome to another Floral Share video. In this series, we have been exploring the element of form. We've done a few videos on triangle and today we're going to explore circle. Now you'll find circles in design everywhere. Think about a wreath on your front door for the holidays, or maybe a crown of baby's breath for a child's first communion. Circle is also represented in a bridal bouquet or a centerpiece for dinner. A very important one I don't want to leave out is a funeral spray. It's a classic way of expressing unity, eternity, and community as well. I know a lot of people kind of shy away from funeral work, but I have always found it very expressive and a lot of fun to do. So we're going to get started today with a 15-inch Oasis ring. Now I've already pre-soaked this one, and 15 inches is not your standard. I would say 18 inches is more of your standard, maybe even 24 if you're looking for the big daddy. But I will tell you, those are expensive. That is why your funeral work costs so much, as some of these pieces really do add up. And I will be attaching that to an easel. Now this is an 18-inch easel. Standard again is 24 to 36 inches. And let me talk just a quick minute about your easel. Now this is an inexpensive wire easel as opposed to some of those really attractive wood pieces. These are designed to go outside and actually stick into the ground, where the wood pieces are more for like a memorial or a different kind of celebration that would stay indoors. So with that being said, let's get started by attaching our Oasis wreath to our easel. I'm going to use some 20 gauge wire to attach this. This is basically to keep our ring on our easel through delivery and through the services. If you don't have the wire, certainly chenille stems will be great. You can also use zip ties. That'll work very nicely. You just don't want to see your mechanics, as always. So there's a hook right here. And what I'm going to do is slip this on top as close to this little plastic barrier as I can, because I want to be able to use that to hold my wire. Now in the old days, there was actually a little hole in the back of your plastic that this hook just slipped right in. We still wired it, but it made it really easy. This one didn't have one. So what I'm going to do is slip this right in through the Oasis. Easier said than done. A little curvature, let me see. I'm trying to go in between this little plastic barrier so I can use that for gripping. There we go. Okay, thread that through and then we're going to twist. Now you could also make a loop if you wanted to secure that a little bit better. This is a heavy boy, I will tell you that. Okay, and then what I want to do is do the same thing and tie it to the legs, because I don't want this wiggling around during delivery. Just gonna pick that up, slip it under, and then twist. And I'm not capturing the Oasis, I'm just capturing this plastic form that it's on. And keep hitting it. Now I do this while it's laying down because I find it to be just a little bit heavy to try to secure this when your arrangement is completely done and trying to get this in between the flowers. So all I'm going to do now is do a quick little snip, snip, and then lift this all up. So it's going to be by the magic of TV. I'm also going to lower my table. So I'll be right back with you. Okay, as you can see, we have this set up on the easel, and as I'm working, you're going to see that this is a little bit wiggly. It's not great quality because remember, this is supposed to just be stabbed into the ground on site. but we'll work with it. So the other thing, I also have a waterproof mat down here to catch any of the water that's going to be dripping out through here. So I always recommend, just for safety, towel or mat. So in this design, we're going to do something that's very clean. I'm going to cover part of the wreath with carnations, and then I'm going to have this dramatic piece with roses that come across here. I think it's really very pretty, very simple in its design, and we're going to be going back to basics with that diagonal arrangement. And I can put a link on that particular video that we went through diagonal on one of our elemental workshops. So let me move around to the back and I'll show you what I mean by covering the sides, and then I'll build out to the front. So I have our large standard carnations, and you don't really need much. I only have maybe about a 2-inch stem here, and I'm going to place it directly and smush it all the way down nice and full. I want to cover all of these sides through here. We want to cover our mechanics. You'll see a lot of times where people will sometimes use greenery to frame that out. I think that's really very pretty. I just wanted something that was a little cleaner for this particular look. And we're going to go all the way around the edges and then build up. Doesn't take much. And it doesn't have to be carnations. You could use chrysanthemums, pom-poms. That works very, very nicely. They're a little bit flatter, not quite as fluffy. And then of course you could use your classic roses. Would not use fresh roses because fresh roses are going to be a tight little bud. A rose that is 3 to 4 days old is going to be a little bit more open and give you better coverage. Okay, now here's where we start to get a little bit more finesse. I want to point the carnation towards you a little bit, and in between the two that you've placed here. The reason is you don't want striping, you want blending. And then I've got another little trick that if your carnation is tight, all you have to do is squeeze the bottom of the little calyxes and then give a little push, and that opens everything up nicely. And then right up here. All right, I'm going to come around the other side. Okay, and what we're going to do is just continue all the way around. And I even want to come inside. And remember, we're not going to stripe it, we're going to go in between. And you can pull those out so you have a little bit more coverage. And then start pointing it down just a little bit, because we're going to rotate this all the way under. And again, just pushing that open so that it covers beautifully. And then one down and through here. And right up in. There we go. Now that is the process that you're going to do all the way around. And I want to stop about here because, like I said, I've got this big, beautiful diagonal arrangement that I want to put across here. So I'm not going to do any talking. I'm just going to cover this, and then I'll be back when we begin to do the other design. Okay, so now that we have this partially covered, I'm leaving this blank right in through here to create that diagonal line arrangement. We're going to start with some gorgeous Snapdragons. I want to bring this right up about here. I don't want it to go, I mean, it can go big, but I want to keep this pretty tight. This is a smaller arrangement. I want to kind of keep it small. So let's start off with our first line. Remember, do not push it. We want to push about halfway through. We don't want to go all the way through the oasis because then it won't drink, of course. And then I have another one right here. That's good. And then one more right here. Nice. Okay. Now let's start with some roses. Now the roses that I have, they are sweet little buds. I don't want to go with a big open rose. I don't want that size to compete with this carnation. I want this little bud to stand out. So again, I'm going to clean off any of the greens, giving him a nice diagonal cut, nice and sharp. And he'll go right in there. Good. Now I'm going to face this one out a little bit more. So it's like this. So I'm going to be inserting him towards the oasis. I don't want it to go up and down anymore. I want them to start facing. I also want to check and see if there's any guard petals that need to come off, because funeral work is where you're doing some of your most impressive work. You want it to be really, really pretty and perfect. And whoo, guess I haven't told you it was wobbly. Look how pretty that is. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And there's not a definite number that you have to use. Yeah, I think I've decided I'm going to carry this down, so we'll see how far this goes. Yeah, remember that diagonal, it's going to go all the way down. Yeah, let's carry him some more. Oh, I want to go shorter because I don't want to do the same length as that. I want it to either come down here or in between here. I don't want them to line up. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Oh, and look at that guard petal right there. He needs to come off. Now I do have a couple more Snapdragons, and I'll have them come out this way. Measure, I'm going to cut him right about here. You know what, that's going to make it easier just to pull him out. Yes, okay, nice line going all the way through. And I think I want another one kind of mimicking that side right there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we also have another little hole right in here. Okay, I'd like to, I think now's the time to add some greens to this. So let me gather those together. So in between takes, I was looking at this design right in through here, and it seems to me that I need to kind of carry out this line to right in through here. I might have a little bit of blocking, but the color is going to peek out, and I think carry that story a little bit better. Going to do my old little paper towel trick. I'm going to pull that right off, clean as can be, and start it back here. Wow, this is some seriously fragrant eucalyptus. It's like bathroom eucalyptus. It smells so good. I think what I'm going to do is break up these little pieces in through here and tuck them in and around. Because you don't have to use your foliage or your flowers the way they come off the stem. You can make them do what you want. I really like this soft color with the white. I think it's very pretty. And I notice I need to sharpen those little points. Okay, I think too, I'm going to get into my Italian ruscus. I think what I want to do is carry some weight down in through here. Didn't I just finish saying that needs to be your best work? And what do I have is some dirty ruscus. Give me a quick sec. I need to wash it. I just can't put this in here dirty. Hold on. I know, you got to do what you got to do, right? Anyway, it's clean, it's pretty. We can work with it. Okay, I'm going to add some of this up in through here. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I didn't like that at all once I put that in there. Let's bring it towards the back. Yeah, I think that's better. I'm not going to put any baby's breath or anything in this particular one because even though we have roses, I want to keep it really clean and simple. And I think the baby's breath is just going to be a little bit too fluffy, a little too sweet. And I don't want to go there with this. Oh, I just saw on my table, I have some gunny eucalyptus. Good girl. That's what this is right here. This is gunny eucalyptus, and that is going to give us a little bit more of that texture that I love so much and a little bit of movement. That'll be good. Okay, right in through here. Yes, I like that very much. Ooh, he's a wig. I told you he was wiggly. So I went to go use this and look, it is shriveled. I am really gonna have to start looking at my supplies before I use them. I'm ridiculous. So we're gonna have to punt and I'll use something else. I think I need a little bit right in through here. And then what about another rose right in through here? I think that could work out nicely. Yeah. Wish I had another Snapdragon, but unfortunately wishing isn't gonna make that happen. But maybe if I just make him shorter, I think that's gonna do it. Yeah, I think that is better. So now that this diagonal is complete, what I want to do is finish off with the rest of my carnations, and I don't think I picked up enough carnations and I'm going to have to punt, and this happens all the time in a flower shop. You think you have enough of a product, something breaks, and you got to be creative. So let me see what I can do with some tie leaves. So I have some nice wide tie leaves, and I think what I'm going to do is cut these into a couple of pieces and literally wrap them around. And then that way I will be camouflaging all of my oasis, and I think that that will be kind of a slick, neat look for this. So, and the way that I attach it is there are flower U-pins. I never have any of those. So I'm going to take my 20 gauge wire, cut it to about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and make a U-pin, and that's going to hold it perfectly. So I'm going to cut off that stem, and let's see if I can't do it in half. Yes, I think that's going to work. All right, we're going to tuck him under there and pin it. And then pin it on this side. I'm going to cut off any excess. And that's going to hide some mechanics right there. Okay. Let's see how far down I can go with this. A pretty big gap at that. So what I did is I just cut a little fishtail into my tie leaf, and I'm going to attach him up top here. So it makes it look like I have done this on purpose. So it's almost like little tails from a bow. Yeah, I'd have to take that out. All right, guys, that is our circle wreath. I am missing, I think, 4 carnations. 4. I can't believe that that happened. To create this all along here, I would have needed maybe 2 dozen more. That's it. Okay, so this I think is a lovely example of circle in our form element. Know that these are not exclusively funeral arrangements. This could be done for memorial. It could also be done for several different kinds of celebrations. This could be a great piece in an entryway. So don't always think of something like this as funeral work or sympathy work. And it can be so much fun. I have to tell you, one of my favorite sympathy pieces that I ever did, I did somebody's chocolate lab in flowers. Yeah, I did. It was great. I'll see you next time.